All right, so our topic today is bullying. There are two pieces of criteria that need to be met for a behavior to be considered bullying. Number one, it has to be repeated. It has to happen over and over and over again. Sometimes it might be months, sometimes it might be years, but it can't be just one isolated incident. The other thing is an imbalance of power, meaning the victim, the person being bullied, can't stop. They may try to stop it, but it just doesn't work for whatever reason. Here are a few stats on bullying. All right, bullying affects so many people. Stereotypically, you kind of think that it only affects maybe the person being bullied, but it also has been shown to affect the bully, as well as anyone who witnesses or observes the bullying as well. There are 4 types of bullying. Okay, the first one is physical bullying. This is kind of what people traditionally think of as bullying. When you say that, it's probably the first thing that comes to their mind. Physical bullying is most often used by males because of sort of someone maybe being physically intimidating, but pushing, kicking, hitting, shoving, physical, like just the threat or intimidation sort of in a physical nature would all be considered physical bullying. The next one is verbal bullying. And this is going to be anytime somebody says something mean, hurtful, maybe uses derogatory names or sort of a teasing or a taunting. Essentially, they're saying things that are going to make that person feel bad. The next one, emotional or social bullying. This one is most often used by girls, and it also happens most often in school. Giving dirty looks, excluding people. So suddenly there's no more room at our lunch table that you've sat at every other single day of the year. Suddenly you're not invited to the party this weekend that you were invited to a week ago. Spreading rumors or starting rumors are all examples of emotional and social bullying. Cyberbullying then is the 4th type, and we're going to spend more time talking about this, but essentially it's really kind of doing any of those other types of bullying, but the tool would be through some sort of electronic device. So you might use an app of some sort, like Snapchat. It could be like tweeting or subtweeting about somebody. Essentially it's just any unwanted electronic messages. And that would be considered cyberbullying. And the tough part about cyberbullying is that, back in the day, somebody who was being bullied at school could go home and it was safe at home. The difficulty with cyberbullying is that people just keep going. So when that person goes home, they continue to see things posted, everybody hanging out except for them or whatever it might be. So it's 24/7 and it's just relentless. There's no sort of peace or time apart from the bullying going on. Now, what do you do about it? If you see it, if you know what's going on, what can you do? Number one thing that you can do is intervene as a bystander. When a bystander intervenes, the bullying typically stops in about half the time, which is incredible. It is fantastic for the person being bullied. There are a lot of different reasons why somebody may hesitate to intervene, and they're all legit reasons. However, that being said, none of them are important enough to keep them from intervening. Intervening really is the most important thing you can do. How to intervene as far as things that you don't want to do. A lot of times people will be tempted to sort of threaten a bully because maybe they're bigger, stronger, or they have more clout or whatever. Typically that doesn't work. Typically the bully is going to just take that out on the victim when you're not around. Another thing is you have to acknowledge that it's going on. You have to be aware that it's going on and don't rationalize it away by saying, oh, that's just between them, or it's a private matter, I shouldn't get involved, things like that as well. And the other thing is, always with so many different issues, an important aspect is telling an adult. And so don't tell yourself like, oh, if I told an adult, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to change anything. No, you should tell an adult, and if nothing changes in the immediate future, it doesn't mean you should just give up. You should be persistent and keep trying to help that person. What you can do is you can discourage the bully. You can help defend the victim, whether it's in person or online, if it's online, by posting positive things about that person, not negative things about the bully. You can sort of try to redirect the situation, so try to take the focus off of what's going on and try to distract the bully, especially if you have some sort of relationship with that person. and get them to stop. Also, bullies tend to like to bully in front of an audience. So if you can get the victim to come along with you and get the audience away from that situation, the bully really has nothing left to do there because nobody's watching. And then obviously get help from your peers and from an adult. If you can stop the bullying, if you intervene within less than 10 seconds, having it stop, that's such a relief for the victim. Things that you can do all the time. This is nothing crazy, earth-shattering, but being kind to everyone. Saying hi to people in the hallway who you don't even know, wouldn't necessarily say hi to. Say hi to somebody who looks like maybe nobody has said hi to them in the hallway all day. They're not walking through the hallway with 7 of their closest friends. You see them by themselves a lot. I still remember some years back a couple of seniors who would go around and invite people who didn't have a place to sit and didn't really have any friends to their table. And these people were pretty high-profile people, really successful athletes and stuff, and so a lot of people knew who they were and they had a lot of sort of social clout. A couple of years later, I actually had one of the students that sat at their table in class, and to hear him talk about what that meant to him and how that changed his life was pretty emotionally moving. It really can make somebody's day. It can really be their sort of saving grace, perhaps. So little things, you can do little things and they might seem little to you, but they could be life-changing to somebody else. And then lastly, I'll just let you take a look at this, but just different signs of being bullied. So that perhaps you have younger siblings or relatives, friends, neighbors, etc. And if you were to see some of these or one of these, again, it doesn't mean that they're being bullied, but it should sort of raise a red flag for you to maybe start asking some questions and making sure everything is okay. Thanks.